Hey, are you ready for the weekend? Yes, that's how you feel when it's Monday. Lesson 32, I have invented the world I see. Boy, that sucks, doesn't it? I mean, I just feel like everyone's ego would naturally rear up on this one and be like, surely I did not invent this, did I? But that's what this lesson is all about. I have invented the world I see. And it's a, let's see, what does it say in the book? We are continuing to develop the theme of cause and effect. Yesterday was you are not the victim of the world that you see because you invented it. So you're not a victim of your own creations. Gulp. Yeah, this is a hard thing to swallow. But it's good. It's actually good. So sit with the crap for a minute, being like, oh my God, no, I wouldn't do this. Like, I wouldn't create this drama. I wouldn't create this trauma, this attack, this defense. Like, did I really? Okay, fine, whatever. Fine, I made it. Here's the good news. You made it, and now you can give it up. You can give it up as easily as you made it up. So if I invented, if I made all this up in my twisted head, okay, well that means I can give it up. There, Holy Spirit, take it, get it the F out of here. So you will see it or not see it as you wish. So if you don't like the way your world is, it's up to you to choose differently. You will see it or not see it as you wish. While you want it, you will see it. When you no longer want it, it will not be there for you to see. That feels like tough love. That feels a little bit like tough love. Like, well, this chaos must still be serving you. You must still be operating from ego mind, because if you didn't want it, you wouldn't see it. All right, let me hand the mic over to Jesus. Go, take it away, boy. Ooh, yeah. Notes for lesson 32. I have invented the world I see. Good Lord. I mean, just have yourself a laugh and say, what have I done? Yeah, we know the song. We know the story. We know what we've done. We can see it. I have invented the world I see. So Jesus he wanted to talk about actually the ego might actually be freaking out by A Course in Miracles. Like, this is challenging everything we've ever been taught and what the ego would like us to believe. The ego wants to defend itself, but we have to remember that anytime we are defending ourselves, we are actually attacking. If you defend yourself, you will have an attack come at you. Defense and attack are the same damn thing. So really try to not fall into that ego trap and talk to your ego. See, you are not your ego. So you are actually able to tell your ego whatever you want, because it's not you. So talk to your ego. Tell your ego that we do not have to believe in A Course in Miracles. Hey, no big deal. We're just doing these lessons. Like, we don't have to buy into it or believe it or nothing like that. And then that'll actually help your ego chill out a little bit so that we can get into the receptive mode and do our mind healing work. So yeah, you can talk to your ego because the ego is not you. The pathways of light for number 32. So sweet. I'm just really, like I said, gonna just doodle and enjoy the reading. But my takeaways are, we all go home together. We really are all up in this bitch together. And that's why it's silly for us to attack each other, because we're all together. Like, we are literally attacking ourselves. So when you attack me, and I'm gonna defend myself and attack you back, we're just hurting ourselves unnecessarily, because we all go home together. So wake up. This is one big flippity flopping dream, and we have a choice now, and we're gonna choose love. We have a choice now. We're going to choose to see innocence instead of guilt. We have a choice to see unity instead of separation. So the pathways of light is certainly all right. So yeah, I think that's fantastic advice for us to talk to our egos as if it is not us, because it is not us. We are not our egos. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, but your ego, that's just your personality. Nah, that's not the way it works at all. Like, the ego is something completely separate than the real you. So ease into that with the crazy practice of talking to your ego. Oh, hello, ego. I see you not liking these lessons. Me too, man. They're ridiculous and there's no harm in it. Just chill out. Well, we're just checking it out, ego. And the ego's like, oh, okay. All right, yeah, okay, good. As long as you don't believe it, okay, because I don't want you to believe it. So just soothe your ego. Talk to your ego. What did he say? Just talk to the ego. Yeah, just be like, yeah, I don't believe it. I'm just watching Sadie to see what weird shirts she wears and how crazy her hair is. And the ego will be like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, and you'll be like, yeah, and I just listened to her read the pathways of light because it gets me ready to take a nap because it's so relaxing. And the ego will be like, that's fine, I love to nap. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 32, Insights. I have invented the world I see. At any time, I am either joining with the ego thought system or the Holy Spirit's thought system. When I join with the ego thought system, the world I invent is filled with struggle, victimhood, and lack. I feel separate and alone. I feel like life is hard. Things don't seem to go easy. It is filled with blame and guilt and tragedy. On the other hand, if I join with the Holy Spirit, the world looks very different. I see innocence instead of guilt. I see unity instead of separation. I see that the only meaning for time is to now awaken to the truth and join with my brothers in that awakening. I see that we all go home together. We don't go home alone. My take on the world is the total opposite of the ego's perspective. So each day, each hour, each minute, it is my choice. Do I join with the ego's invention, or do I allow the Holy Spirit to write the script? Which I choose at any moment is up to me. This choice determines the world I see. As I was doing the exercise for today, I looked out the window at the new snow that had fallen overnight. I made a beautiful lacy image of the trees. It sure didn't seem like I invented the world I am seeing, but I was reminded of a recent lesson in which we were to look at various objects and say, for instance, God is in that tree, or God is in the snow. I remembered that in that lesson it said that certainly God is not in that physical object as I see it. In fact, my seeing of the object blocks my awareness that God is there. So if I am not aware of God in everything, it is not because God is not there, for God is in my mind. It is because I am seeing a world I have invented that stands between me and my awareness of God. I have invented the world as I see it. Were I able to strip away what I have invented, I would see only God. I would see God everywhere because God is in my mind. That is why it is important for me to realize that it is I who have invented the world I see. It is in recognizing this that I open my mind to a new way of seeing. It also reminds me that I have absolute control of what I see and what I experience. I always have choice. I am not the victim of the world. I can join with the Holy Spirit and see the world with Christ vision. I can see God everywhere. I can see love everywhere. I have invented the world I see. What an exhilarating thought this is for me. As I truly begin to understand this and take responsibility for my thoughts, I become aware that I am free to choose. I can continue, along with the ego thought system, to create thoughts within my mind that terrorize myself. Or I can place my mind under the guidance of Jesus and ask for each thought to be rewritten as an expression or extension of love. I can choose to separate with my thoughts, or I can choose to heal my mind and bless the world. I am free as God created me. I was talking to a clerk in a store yesterday, and she started talking about how scary things are with the failing economy, talk of war, etc. As she talked on, I found myself responding with one of those stock answers we use just to make conversation, in which I was basically agreeing with her. I stopped myself from continuing that way and wanted to say something constructive, but someone else came in and the opportunity passed. It made me very aware of how careless I am with my thoughts and words. It also made me aware of my responsibility to myself and my brothers. I had an opportunity to speak truth and chose to add to the illusion instead. I feel thankful that I saw myself doing this and was aware of my error. Now I have the opportunity to choose differently. I am grateful for today's lesson because it gives me a chance to reinforce my lesson from yesterday. My thoughts have effects, and my thoughts are my choice. I can change them. I too found myself agreeing with several people yesterday about how bad things are, and last night I was in a state of confusion. As I worked with my facilitator last night, what came to me was that my agreement with any ego gives my ego permission to rule. I was miserable and didn't really understand why until this morning. I do have a choice as to whether I listen to the ego or to Holy Spirit. I am not a victim, and I cannot agree with anyone that they are either. Out of my own self-interest, I must be generous with the truth. I can change my mind about myself. pathwaysoflight.org. So yeah, that is definitely my message today on so many levels. We all go home together. All of us, even you. We're all going home together. So anyways, I see innocence instead of guilt. Can we start seeing through the eyes of love? Can we be big girls and boys and make that choice to choose unity instead of separation, to choose love instead of hate? Can we choose innocence instead of guilt? Whew, that's going to be a tough one for me today, but I'm going to try again, because I guess I have invented the world that I see, which means I've invented the cookies that I see. All right, that was for my headphone users, I'm so sorry. Let me try it again. I have invented the cookies that I see. Yeah. Was that too much? Maybe.